Have you been in a meeting and thought you delivered the perfect message, but was left feeling like something was off? Maybe you thought you were delivering great news, but was met with less than enthusiasm. Today we're going to talk about why reading body language is an essential skill all leaders should have in their toolkit. But before we get started, don't forget to download this week's worksheet, as every episode has a corresponding worksheet. And make sure you subscribe to my channel for the best leadership and team building advice, and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video up every Thursday. Where you find the tools to shape the leader you want to be. Welcome to this week's episode. My name is Renata from renataporter.com. I've been an avid user of reading the room ever since I can remember. I've used it in public speaking, in interviews, especially in interviews, and I use it daily with my team. For me, being able to fully understand how my team is feeling and what they're thinking is hugely important to me. And the best way to do that is to make sure that what they're saying matches up to what they aren't saying. Today, I will discuss the top 4 reasons why leaders should learn to read their team's body language. Before we get started, while there are common body language behaviors, you need to really learn your team and how they behave on a daily basis. You interact with them often, so if you're paying attention, you will pick up what is out of the ordinary for their specific behaviors. It pays to not jump to conclusions, but to be observant of the individual team member. It's called understanding a person's baseline. To be more specific, as you get to know your team, you will understand how they deviate from their normal behavior, and that is where you pick up on the nonverbal clues. But you have to study your team. You have to pay attention. There's 2 videos that I'm going to recommend you watch. One is about understanding baseline body language, and the other is body language clusters. Both of these videos come from Blake Eastman and will be of great help for you. I'll put a link below. All right, let's get into why reading body language is important when leading a team. Number 1, it allows you to understand if your team is engaged in what is being said. Whether you're talking or not, it's important to scan the room and watch the team. This allows you to get a sense on if individuals are invested in the conversation or the outcome. I'm not really talking about if they agree or disagree. It's more that they're paying attention and that they're taking in the information or hearing the message. Being disengaged can mean a lot of different things for each individual, but it's important to pick up on the disengagement itself and then evaluate it, confront it, or make a mental note for a one-on-one conversation later to better understand. Number 2, reading body language could tell you that the team doesn't understand what you're saying or why you're saying it. I think picking up on confusion is one of the easiest cues to see, but often leaders will just keep going on with what's being said or what they have to say. It's important to understand why there's confusion. Are you explaining it poorly? Maybe you can say it in another way. If it were me, I would just ask why everyone looks confused. Could be that I'm not doing a great job at being clear. Could be they just received a different message about the same topic and I'm not aware of it. Could be they're doubting my timing and why I'm saying what I'm saying. Who knows? But if you see it on their faces, ask the question. Time for the question of the day. I'd really like to know, do you read your team's body language? If so, do you feel it helps with productivity? Leave a comment below so we can all learn. Number 3, when you read the signs, you can get a sense of when they want to say something when they aren't actually speaking up. Again, there's a lot of different visual cues that you can pick up when they're disagreeing, agreeing, or just that they have something to say, but for whatever reason, they're holding back. If you see this behavior, that allows you to switch gears. Maybe answer the questions you feel they're going through in their head. Or you could just stop and ask pulling questions. For example, Sarah, I feel like you're mulling something over in your head. Do you want to share it so we can discuss as a group? Or, Sarah, I see you have doubts. What are they so we can work through them? Or maybe you can see something that I don't, and maybe I should consider it. Number 4, reading nonverbal clues increases productivity. And what I mean by that is it allows you to get right to the heart of what your team is thinking or feeling. This avoids multiple meetings because you don't have buy-in or due to misunderstandings because you just didn't read the message. Everything can be brought out in the open. There's no circling back or wondering why a new strategy failed. If you had only read the body language, you would have seen that they weren't on board or that they had their own thoughts and ideas about what should have happened. Well, that's a wrap on this week's episode. Reading body language is a tool you shouldn't ignore if you're looking to be a top leader. There's a lot of videos and books about reading specific cues, but don't forget that everyone reacts differently to certain things. So you have to know your team and look for their inconsistencies. Only then will you get your answers. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And I'd love to read your comments, so let me know if you felt what I shared today was helpful. Lastly, be sure to visit my website, renataporter.com, because there you'll find content I won't share anywhere else. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.